It's a sight familiar to anyone who has ever been graced by the presence of a Cavalier King Charles Spaniel. The liquid brown eyes, the silken velvet ears, and the tail, a perpetually swinging pendulum of pure, unadulterated joy. This near-constant wagging is not just a charming quirk. It is the very essence of the breed, a visible manifestation of a history and temperament meticulously crafted over centuries. To understand why the Cavalier's tail is a metronome of merriment, we must delve into the heart of their history, the science of their communication, and the profound bond they were born to create. Unlike many dog breeds sculpted by the demands of hunting, herding, or guarding, the Cavalier King Charles Spaniel had but one sacred duty: to be a companion. Their story is inextricably linked with British royalty, most famously with King Charles II, the merry monarch, who was said to be so infatuated with his toy spaniels that he was accused of neglecting matters of state in their favor. He decreed that the spaniel should be allowed in any public place, including the Houses of Parliament, a rule that technically still stands. This royal patronage shaped the breed's destiny. For generations, these dogs were selected not for their ferocity or their stamina, but for their affectionate nature, their gentle disposition, and their unwavering desire to be close to their human counterparts. Their work was to warm laps, to soothe anxieties, and to offer silent, loving friendship. In this environment, a dog that outwardly expressed its contentment was highly prized. The wagging tail became a symbol of a successful companion, a physical trait directly linked to the desired temperament. Generations of selective breeding have therefore hardwired the Cavalier to have a low threshold for happiness. Their default setting is one of gentle joy, and their tail is the primary broadcaster of this emotional state. While we often simplify a wagging tail as a sign of happiness, canine communication is far more nuanced. A dog's tail is a sophisticated social semaphore, broadcasting complex emotional information through its height, speed, and direction. Height. A high-held tail generally signals confidence and excitement. A Cavalier, comfortable and secure in its environment, will naturally carry its tail high, ready to wag at the slightest provocation. Speed and breadth. The classic Cavalier wag is broad, sweeping, and often so enthusiastic it engages the entire back half of the dog in a full-body wiggle. This type of wag is a universal canine signal of friendly intentions and pure excitement. It's an open invitation to interact, devoid of the tension or anxiety that might be indicated by a short, fast, vibrating wag. Directional bias. Fascinating research in canine neuroscience has even revealed a wagging bias. Studies have shown that dogs tend to wag their tails more to the right side of their body when they experience positive emotions, like seeing their owner, and more to the left for negative or withdrawal-inducing stimuli, like seeing a dominant, unfamiliar dog. Observe a Cavalier, and you will almost certainly be witnessing a masterclass in right-sided wagging. For the Cavalier, this communication is almost always set to friendly. Their low-stress, high-affection temperament means that nearly every stimulus, a familiar face, the crinkle of a treat bag, a soft word, or even just making eye contact, is cause for a joyous, sweeping wag. Ironically, this boundless expression of joy can sometimes have a painful consequence. The Cavalier's enthusiastic wag, combined with a fine-boned tail covered in thin skin, makes them susceptible to a condition aptly named happy tail syndrome. This is not a neurological issue causing the wagging, but rather a physical injury resulting from it. When a Cavalier is particularly excited, which is most of the time, its powerfully wagging tail can repeatedly strike hard surfaces like walls, coffee tables, and door frames. This repeated trauma can cause the delicate skin at the tip of the tail to split, bleed, and become difficult to heal, simply because the dog doesn't stop wagging long enough for a scab to form. While distressing, it is perhaps the most definitive proof of the breed's irrepressible spirit, a dog literally willing to injure itself out of sheer happiness. Cavalier King Charles Spaniels are a prime example of a breed exhibiting high degrees of neoteny, the retention of juvenile physical and behavioral traits into adulthood. Their large, expressive eyes, soft features, and playful, dependent nature are all characteristics we associate with puppies. Constant, enthusiastic tail wagging is a quintessential puppy behavior, used to signal appeasement, solicit care, and express a simple, uncomplicated joy in their surroundings. By retaining this trait so strongly into their adult years, Cavaliers effectively tap into our innate instinct to nurture and protect the young. Their wagging tail isn't just a sign of happiness, it's a key part of their forever puppy charm that makes them such irresistible companions. On a biological level, the Cavalier's affectionate nature is likely linked to its neurochemistry. Companion breeds are thought to have higher baseline levels of, or greater sensitivity to, hormones like oxytocin, often called the love hormone or bonding hormone. This chemical is released in both dogs and humans during positive social interactions, like petting, mutual gazing, and cuddling. For a Cavalier, whose entire purpose revolves around these interactions, their brain is perpetually primed for a positive social response. The constant wagging can be seen as the physical manifestation of a brain that is essentially hardwired to seek, experience, and express the pleasure of social connection. This trait is not just an accidental quirk, it is officially recognized and encouraged in the breed. The official American Kennel Club, AKC, breed standard for the Cavalier King Charles Spaniel describes the tail as being well set on, carried happily but never much above the level of the back, and in constant characteristic motion when the dog is in action. The key phrases here are carried happily and in constant characteristic motion. This means that for generations, breeders and show judges have been selecting for dogs that display this very trait. A Cavalier with a still, low-carried tail would be seen as out of character, so this perpetual motion has been intentionally reinforced in the gene pool. Many dog breeds have their energy and focus channeled into a specific drive, such as the prey drive of a terrier or the herding drive of a border collie. The Cavalier, however, has had these instincts largely bred out in favor of a powerful social drive. Their primary motivation is to monitor, engage with, and please their human family. Because their focus is not diverted by the scent of a distant squirrel or the need to round up stray sheep, it is laser-focused on the people in the room. This constant social vigilance means that even the smallest human interaction, a subtle glance, a sigh, or shifting one's position on the couch, is enough to capture their attention and elicit a hopeful, happy wag. Ultimately, the Cavalier's unstoppable tail is a reflection of the bond it shares with its humans. They are emotional mirrors, responding to our presence with an honesty that is both humbling and heartwarming. Their tail wags when you enter the room because, for them, your arrival is the most significant event of the moment. It wags when you speak to them because your voice is their favorite sound. It is a feedback loop of affection, a constant, beautiful reminder of the simple, profound connection between humans and dogs. So the next time you see a Cavalier King Charles Spaniel, their tail beating a frantic, joyful rhythm against the world, know that you are not just seeing a cute behavior. You are witnessing the culmination of centuries of history, a masterclass in canine communication, and the purest expression of a heart that was bred for one singular, noble purpose: to love.